everyone, welcome to another Hero Arts video. It's Sherry Carroll here to show you stamping with digital die cuts. The card I've made for this tutorial uses the Peking Posy stamp set and the Peking Posy digital die cut. I've stamped on the die cut with my stamp and then colored with Copics. Let's get started and I'll show you how I did it. I've opened up my file of Peking Posies and it's now here on my Silhouette screen, and I've adjusted the size to what I want. So right now I'm right clicking and I'm going to ungroup the whole setting, and now I'm going to select this one die cut, and what I'll do is group that together. Now I can right click and copy it and right click and paste it. So now I get multiples of the one image that I want, so that I can do my stamping. Now that I have my images the way I want them, I'll click on Send to Silhouette and I'll check on the weight of my paper and the blade. So in order to change this, go to Change Settings. I'm working with an 80-pound weight cardstock, so I'll select that, and now I'll click Send to Silhouette. Now my changes have been recorded, so it's at a cardstock 3 and 33, so now I can click Cut Page. When you click on Cut Page, you need to have your paper loaded into your machine, as it'll start right away. My die cuts are already cut, and I'm going to keep them onto the carrier sheet. It makes it easier for me to be able to stamp on. So I'm going to use a stamp positioner, and this is an EK stamp positioner. And how this works, I'm left-handed, so I do kind of use it upside down. So I'm going to choose this one flower stamp, and I'll go ahead and ink this up. And I'm using Memento ink because I'm going to go ahead and use Copics on this card. So what you do is you make sure you have the base put right into the corner of the stamp positioner, press the stamp into the corner and straight down. So what I'm doing is I'm stamping on this translucent sheet. So now I can use this sheet to line up onto my die cut. Just get it right centered in the center of the die cut, and I'll place the positioner back in place. And I'll go ahead and ink up my stamp again really well, because now I'm going to be stamping onto my die cut. Okay, and once I have that inked up really well, I'm going to recheck my positioning here to make sure I'm lined up perfectly. So once I'm lined up, I'll press the stamp press down and slide the other sheet away, and I'll go ahead and place my stamp just like I did before and press straight down. Now I'll remove the stamp press and I'll go ahead and give my stamp a little press, and I'll pop it up, and now I have my image. I'll show you up close. So now it's perfectly centered in the center of the die cut. So now I can peel my die cut away from the carrier sheet, and I'll go ahead and get rid of the excess paper, and now you can really see how that stamps really perfectly in the center. I've chosen some nice summer colors to color in my flower, some oranges and greens, and I'll start off by using the lightest color, orange, and I'll start coloring in the petals. And I'm just going to do this really quickly, just kind of outlining. Just go onto the outline of each petal, and I've decided to leave a little white spot to look like light reflecting. I'll be coloring this quite quickly, and it might have a little messy look, but I think that's kind of fun. So now that I have my petals done, I'll go ahead and color the tops of the petals with the same color and just fill those in. This stamp is just perfect for coloring with Copics. So now I'll move to my second darkest color, or my mid-tone, And I'm just going to shade under the lip of that petal where it kind of bends. So I want it to look like a little shadow under that petal. And what I'm doing is just using the pulling down strokes, just going lightly. So more concentrated colors at the top, and it works out to the outside or to the inside. Now I'm doing the same from the bottom up. So now you can start seeing a little bit of depth. And I'll choose my darkest color, and I'll just go in just a little bit at the bottom to give it a little more depth. Not going too far up on each petal, just a little bit. And if you notice, I'm using thinner strokes, and I'm going above where my mid-tone was. You could also color this flower with pencils. I believe I've done that in another tutorial. But the Copics go very fast and the blending's really easy. So now it really looks like the petal actually curls. So still working with my darkest color, I'm just adding a little bit to the edge of each of the petals so it gives it a little bit of depth. For quick blending, I'll go back to my lightest color, and I'll go over all my areas and really concentrate on the mid color in between. I'll just recover all the areas. And it blends out really quickly. And here's how it looks close up. Oops, sorry, it's not so clear, but it really has great depth. So now I'll move to my petal, and I'm using my lightest tone of green. Oops, got the wrong end. I wanted to be sure to look for the gray stripe. That's with the brush tip. So I'll just be using some wide strokes, and again I've created the white line for my reflective light. And I'll do the same on my little pod here. Just keep a little bit of light shining, and of course the stem as well. So moving to my second color, my mid-tone, I'll go ahead and do the same coloring like I did before, where I'm pulling from the bottom up and from the top down. If you notice, I'm not being exactly perfect on this coloring. It gives it a nice whimsical look. So again, I went on the stem right under the pod, and now I'm choosing my darkest color. And again, I'll go on the back side. See how I'm not going all the way up into that mid-tone. I'm staying behind it. This is what gives you the best depth. And again, I'll go back to my lightest color, and I'll do my blending. I'm pressing pretty good with the pen, so I'm getting the brush strip tip to really bend as I go. It just really blends nicely. And there's my flower. To finish my card off, I've layered little elements onto a daffodil card. So I have a stamped background with the party dots from Basic Gray. I stamped hello, and then I used a white Signo pen to do my little stitching, and some corrugated cardstock at the bottom, and a little twine bow. So that's my tutorial on stamping onto digital die cuts. I hope you've enjoyed this, and please visit us at www.heroarts.com, and thanks for watching.